Hey, folks, welcome to the Pivot Podcast Show. My name is Dave Rich, and I build technology that keeps businesses moving from cloud platforms to AI automation to telecom systems most people never see but rely on every day. Over 25 years fixing what's broken, streamlining what's slow, and helping teams turn complicated problems into clear, workable solutions. At my core, I'm about growth, mindset, and execution. I believe every challenge is a pivot point, and I'm here to share the lessons, the tools, and the mindset that have helped me navigate big transitions and bigger opportunities.
Hey everyone, I'm Tatiyanna Hodges, realtor in Maryland, Virginia, Georgia, and Florida. And I specialize in helping people navigate the new construction journey with clarity and confidence. Over the years, I've guided countless buyers through one of the biggest decisions of their lives and taught agents how to do the same thing through YouTube and digital marketing strategy. But here's what I know for sure. Before any success story, there's always a pivot. My path wasn't perfect. I faced financial setbacks, life challenges, and moments where it felt like everything was working against me. Instead of letting those experiences stop me, they pushed me to grow and show up with more purpose and clarity.
See, that's very interesting that you should say that because that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Pivot points and the power of reframing setbacks. And you got good company when you talk about having a setback and pivoting and doing something different and then coming back from that. Think about somebody like, and people don't know this, Elon Musk. Now, I know he's not a real popular guy right now, but I will tell you that his mindset was such that when he started Tesla, he wasn't sure it was going to work. And he worked on that despite the difficulties for 13 years before it made any money. Now, can you imagine putting your heart, sweat, blood, and soul into a project? It takes 13 years to make money?
Absolutely not. Most people give up 6 months in.
Right.
Maybe not even 6 months, 3 months in if it doesn't work instantly.
So how do you think he did that? What do you think the difference was?
Mindset.
Mindset. I agree.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about mindset is if you listen to the internet right now, you've got all these business opportunities. People's trying to sell you this, trying to sell you that, this course, that e-document, all kind of stuff. And what you find out is after they talk to you about what it can do for you and give you all the shiny object scenarios, after all the dialogue, they say at the end, what really matters though, despite all the stuff we're telling you and it will work, is your mindset. Mindset is the baseline that feeds the intention to take action. I've never seen it fail. I can give you a story on mindset, but I want to hear your story first. Have you run into a point where you were reliant on your mindset to get you through an obstacle?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. I mean, mindset really is the foundation of it all. I mean, before I start studying on any new project, anything that I want to accomplish in life, I really have to develop the mindset to get it done. Just like you referenced courses, I build courses myself, you've built courses as well. And, you can teach someone from A to Z how to get something done, how to make $1 million, right? But if I don't have the mindset to do it, to actually put the work in, put the studying in to make it happen, it's not going to get done. And so I have definitely faced those challenges in life where I had to really sit down and tell myself, if I really want this, if I really want to accomplish this, I need to develop a better mindset, and I have to make sure that I'm putting myself in a position to soak in the knowledge I need to make that pivot in life. And I actually recall many years ago when I was going through something in life. This was my early 20s, probably about 21, 22, when you think you know everything in life. And, I was going through a lot. And I told myself, I can either just keep going in this downward spiral or I can make a pivot. But I had to change my mindset to make that pivot. And during that time when I made that pivot, is when I decided to really sit down and focus on real estate. I studied, I got my real estate license, and then after that, it led me into my newfound love, which is digital marketing. And I started learning about digital marketing. And after that, here came the YouTube channel. And then after the YouTube channel, many homeowners have found me there, and they've hired me to help them find homes and list their homes for sale. And then after that, now I'm teaching people this, you know? And so that would have never happened unless I made that pivot. Unless I sat down and said, this is where I want my life to be in the next few years. And in order for me to get there, I have to make that pivot right now.
Now, you said something very interesting. You talked about knowledge, and knowledge fed that mindset so that you can move forward, repurpose, and pivot.
It was like a stepping stone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I relate to that because I think I told you this story. You know, that one of my books I wrote, I talk about the origins of Dave as an engineer. Because, you know, when I was in high school, I hated mathematics. And the reason was because it made me study.
Yeah.
I never studied from, kindergarten to 12th. I didn't study anything. I would listen in class, and then I would go pass the test. But biology and mathematics wouldn't let me do that. So I didn't like it. I wanted to get back out on the street with my friends. So one day I'm coming home, and I'm hanging with my friends, talking about what we're going to be when we grow up. And I said, well, I think I'm going to be an engineer, travel the world on somebody else's dime. And they stopped in the middle of the street, turned around, looked at me, and bust out laughing. I said, well, what's so funny? He said, you can't be no engineer. You hate math. And I thought about it, and I said, yeah, well, that's kind of right.
Well, there's that.
there's that. So I get home, and I go right to bed. My mom's like, what's wrong with you? My friends laughed at my dream. My feelings were hurt. I was 16. Ironically, the National Urban League in my 12th grade year came to my high school. And I was always looking for ways to get out of class. So this guy is giving us all this information about taking these apprenticeship programs, blah, 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 but we got to qualify with all these tests. So I raised my hand and said, well, when are the tests, when do we have to take those tests? He says, well, unfortunately, it'll have to be during school time. And I raised my hand and said, I want to sign up, because that means I didn't have to sit in class. So we took all these tests, and I ended up getting hired by the Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. And I was an apprentice. Well, I'm not going to go into that story, but long story short, that was the beginning of my engineering career. Years later, not only am I an engineer, I became an engineer, then a manager of engineers, and then I'm direct report to the technology officer for a Fortune 500 company, and I'm negotiating multi-million-dollar contracts. That was a serious pivot.
Wow. And this all started from when you initially told your friends your dreams at 16 years old, and they laughed and they said, no.
That's right.
You can't do that.
They laughed at me and laughed at me all the way down the block. I'll never forget it.
And look at you now. Look at what you've accomplished.
Well, yeah.
I don't think they laughing now.
No, they're probably not.
Wow. So that right there just, shows you all how it's possible, to make a pivot in your life. If you really want something, it's achievable. But it takes that mindset shift, and you really need to have the hunger to make that pivot for anything that you want in life.
Sure.
Even if you're building a home, that's what I specialize in, new construction builds. They can't just build a home from scratch. They can if they want to, but what's going to happen after that? No foundation, no guide, no blueprint. Home's going to fall apart, right? So you have to have a map. You need to have a foundation, and that alone helps you frame your lifestyle, frame your home into what you're looking for, and that's how you grow.
Well, that makes me want to ask you. So, have you had the experience where you had a client that you felt could do something, could use your service and be successful at it, but there was just something missing? Your instinct said that they should be able to do this, but in fact they didn't, and you kind of looked back and said, okay, maybe this is what I initially thought and why I thought they would not be successful.
As far as purchasing a home, hopefully I'm answering this question to the best of my ability, but home ownership is just something that a lot of people think they just can't obtain. It's a huge challenge. You're buying a home, like hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's the biggest purchase in someone's life. And so there's a lot of times where, buyers just don't have the confidence They're lacking the confidence. And I've learned that the lack of confidence is simply because they just don't have the proper education. And so that ties into many home buyers who are looking for homes. They eventually say, I want to buy this home. I love it. I saw it. Everything looks amazing. And what happens after that to some people? They get cold feet. And they just say, maybe this isn't for me right now. They stop responding. They lose their earnest money deposit, thousands of dollars.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that happens. Thousands they can't get back. That's breach of contract at that point, right? And I realized they were lacking the confidence because they didn't have the education behind it. And so when they sit down with me, whether it's in person or a Zoom call, I give them the confidence. That is missing puzzle piece that they need. And then knowing that someone's there to help guide them through the process from A to Z, they develop that confidence, And we're in a new world right now. I mean, buying a home in 2025 is completely different than buying a home in 1990. So much has changed. And, I meet people where they say, well, yeah, I know how this thing goes. I bought a home 20 years ago. Ain't too much change from there.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that because a lot has changed, And so we are in a time where it's just so much going on, and you got AI, and you got all these companies trying to replace real estate agents and everything like that. But I honestly think, I know that you're always going to want a real human being with expertise and knowledge and the confidence to give you so that you can make it to the closing table.
See, you couldn't have allowed me to segue better, because what I'm thinking as you say that is what you actually did for the person or the people that were hesitant to buy is you lent them your confidence.
Absolutely.
So they weren't just buying or using you as a real estate agent. They were leaning on your confidence so that they could move forward toward their dream.
Absolutely.
And there is no AI that can replace that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, so, and now AI is my world.
And AI is your world. I can't wait for you. Listen, I can't wait for that part of the podcast.
But let's stay on mindset for a second, because there are three components to mindset. First, you have to believe it matters.
Yeah.
Right. Second, you have to manage that mindset. The third level is being able to master that mindset. So people say, well, what are you talking about? Does mindset even matter? Well, I just told you about Elon Musk. Had he a different mindset, he could have never done Tesla. And there are many, many examples of that.
Oh, yeah.
Managing that mindset. Well, Martin Luther King was very good at managing his mindset. Despite the fact he was under constant threat, he still kept going. Now, he was supported by the people, but he knew that he was in jeopardy that entire time.
Oh, yeah.
But his mindset was that he had to do this, he was going to do that, and let God work it out. That was a mindset. Now, mastering the mindset, and that was some mastery. So another example would be, you're riding down the street, minding your business, you're in your car, it's a good day, and all of a sudden somebody on the left lane jumps in front of you on the right lane and slams on brakes, and you slam on your brake and you barely keep from hitting this person in the back. Now your heart's racing and you're feeling angry and you want to ride up next to them and just let this person know how you feel about what they did. Mindset mastery says take a beat before you respond to external stimuli. Mindset mastery says reflect on the outcomes of your action. Because you can ride next to them and you have no idea what this person's got going on in their life. They could be just looking for somebody to take it out
Looking
on.
for trouble.
They could be looking for trouble. And now you've given them an opportunity to vent or whatever they're going to do that may actually change your life.
Yeah.
So now you got the person who you already don't want nothing to do with in your life.
Yeah.
But mindset mastery says, no, take a beat before you react. And you let them go. You took a long pause. You reflected on the outcomes. And you said, the best outcome is for me to never even know who this person is.
Yeah.
And therefore, since you didn't hit the car, there's no reason to engage with them. And they go on about their business and you go on with your day. That's mindset mastery.
That's when you have officially mastered the mindset.
That's when you have, and there's training required because it's not always easy to do.
No.
Because you get emotions involved.
Oh, yeah.
So emotional intelligence is involved there as well.
And and we're human beings. We have feelings. And oftentimes we feel like if someone is having a bad day and they do something like that to us, or they're just mean in general, we could be be at work having a great day and you got an angry customer, right?
That's right.
You should never take it personal, right? And that's a part of it. You should never take it personal. You should always look at it and say, wow, this person really must be having a bad day. I don't know what's going on with them, but look, I don't want no parts. I don't want anything to do with this. I'm just going to continue with my day because I'm having a great day. I hope that they feel better soon. You know?
That's part of that management, that mastery of mindset.
It's just, I know. But see, since we are humans, though, it's hard to, if we don't have that mastery, right, it's easier to, what can I say, react to those things. And that's still something I need to learn myself. I mean, I'm not going to lie, you know, so, because I'm not perfect. So, so yeah, I mean, mindset mastery, which I plan to learn from David himself to help me, it's just essential. It's essential.
It's not only essential, it's beneficial.
It is beneficial.
It can make all the difference in your life. When you get to the point of mindset mastery, there's not much you can't accomplish. And I always say, because, you know, I'm a certified personal trainer, so I like to do coaching and training. And the difference between the two, the trainers got metrics they can calculate. You know, you can lift this amount today and that amount tomorrow, so I'm training you to do that. Coaching is managing that mindset to make you want to come in to train. Right? So these things are very, very important. And the more power you have over your mindset, over managing that mindset, the more opportunities you have to effect change and to accomplish tasks and goals. And then to deliver that wisdom and process to people around you so that they start to look at your reaction and responses to things and how you're going to get it. And then they mirror your behavior.
Absolutely.
And it just changes the entire dynamic of everybody around you who's willing to accept that kind of information from you.
Yes. I love that.
So I look at the holidays, for example. For some people, the holidays are very, very depressing. For whatever reason, and we won't go into that right now. But just it goes without saying that for some people, holidays are very, very depressing.
Yeah.
But if you have the mindset of, despite what has happened in the past, despite what you expect to happen tomorrow, today is a good day, no matter what, then you can embrace the experience of that holiday without reflecting on the past and worrying about tomorrow. And that's called being present. Again, that's a mindset. There's this thing called the third eye, right? So right now there's a third eye that's watching us as we're having a conversation. If you are present, you're able to have that third eye look down at our conversation, and you can reflect upon it later and say, okay, I had this posture, Dave had that posture, we laughed at this, we laughed at that, that one didn't work out so well, and we can make the adjustment. Right? But that means you have to be present. Now, most people are not present. They're either thinking about tomorrow or worried about yesterday, or vice versa. But in order to be able to master that, you have to master the mindset, so it's always on your mind to do so. And like you said, it's not easy.
No.
But with practice, it becomes intuitive. When it becomes intuitive, you notice how much you can get done. The dreams and the aspirations you establish, you take steps toward that. Every little step you make is toward that dream and aspiration.
Yeah.
And that's all about that mindset.
And it's all about the mindset. It is all about the mindset.
Right now, everybody's struggling with mindset, I think, a bit because of the cultural and political environment that we're in.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, I won't even say his name, can you imagine his mindset, the guy leading the country right now? I mean, come on, what kind of mindset does he have?
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, it's just so many changes that have hit us in just 2025 alone.
Right.
You know, it's just, we don't know what to expect. We duck and dodge, and we like, you know what, I'm just going to stay in the house. I don't even know what's about to happen next. We might get invaded by some aliens. I don't know. You never know. and so it's just, you know, our minds are just everywhere right now. And so, I mean, I understand why people are thinking about tomorrow or the past, or they're not really thinking about right now, you know? And I agree with you. And it's hard to get out of that bubble where you're just thinking about right now and how can I improve myself today? What small incremental steps can I take today to better myself for the future? The future is going to come regardless.
That's right.
Tomorrow's going to come regardless. There's a saying, I forgot what it was. Maybe you said it, but you already have so much going on in your life today. Allow that to be for just today. Get yourself through today's obstacles, today's trials and tribulations. Get yourself through that today, right? Tomorrow's going to come, and the past is already over with, you know? So I agree with you. It's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Because theoretically, the only thing that really matters is today.
It's today.
Yesterday no longer exists, and tomorrow's not here yet.
Mm-mm.
So the only reality you have is the present right now.
Right here, right now.
So what can you do right now to overcome a particular obstacle or to celebrate an accomplishment? You should do them both, right? At all times.
Absolutely. And speaking of celebrating, I think that what people, you know, a lot of people just don't do this, but you should reward yourself for things that you've accomplished. You know, if you got something done, a big task, maybe it was a project for work, maybe it was whatever the case may be, reward yourself for that. You know, people are not rewarding themselves enough for what they've accomplished. And I think that's a huge part of that too.
Yeah, and just to go back to the pivot point, a lot of people, they have dreams and aspirations, and then they try something and they fail at it in their minds. Well, if you tried it and it didn't work, it doesn't necessarily mean it failed. It just meant that you needed to learn something. And if you do it again, maybe you learn some more.
Oh, yeah.
And every time you do it, incrementally, you get closer and closer to accomplishing that you set out to accomplish.
Failure is nothing but feedback.
It is feedback. I like that, man.
Failure is feedback.
I'm going to have to write that down. Failure is feedback.
Absolutely.
All right, okay. All right. Well, wait a minute. I thought I was a philosopher.
Oh, there you go. You're funny.
Well,
So, yeah.
Well, we're talking about a lot of things today. And I want to kind of wrap it up to talk a little bit about the Black experience. Right? You know, you and I being African American as well. You know, I think you are.
Oh, yes, for sure.
I know I am.
Yeah, oh, yes. Maybe a few other things mixed in there, but I identify as an African American
right,
woman. That is who I am.
I probably could say the same thing. Way back, I guess.
Yes.
But, you know, one thing I like about our culture is that we really do have a culture of joy. And yet we don't embrace it a lot. You know, we enjoy music. We enjoy art.
Yes, we do.
We enjoy the cookout, the card game, you know, the domino game. We are inspired by just coming together with people that we know, like, and trust, and just having a good time. We have a culture of joy. I don't really see that in certain other cultures. Their cultures are very strict, constrained, diminished in their expressions. And I'm not talking about any particular culture, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
Well, we can be animated. We enjoy each other's company. And I think all of that helps to feed the mindset of accomplishment within us. That's kind of where I was going with that. Take that joy, take that energy, feed that mindset along with knowledge. Learn to manage. Once you know the mindset matters, manage it. Once you manage it, master it. And, you know, the world at that point becomes yours.
There you go. Yes, it does.
Did I say enough?
Oh, yes. And I'm with you on that. For sure. I know me, right? I love having fun. I love music. Music is my backbone. I'll go days without even watching television. Why? Because I love music. You know, I could just lay down or just relax or just even drive in my car and just play some good music. And this music goes back to the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the early 90s, R&B, hip hop, everything, you know, and it really puts me in this creative, soulful spirit. You know, and it just makes you want to dance automatically. So I dance. That's another thing that people don't know about me. I dance, I sing, so I could rap. And so just animated in those ways. And it makes me feel happy. And even if I'm having a bad day, what do? Just turn on some music.
Who's your favorite artist?
Oh my goodness, that is such a hard question for me. My favorite artist. Are you talking about of all times favorite?
We can start there.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, who can I say? I really don't have a favorite artist. I'm not gonna lie to you. But I will say that I am a big Beyonce. I love Beyonce. Also, I would say Sade.
Oh.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And who else could I say? You know, you gotta love Chris Brown too. I love Chris Brown. I mean, I love his vocals, and he's a performer. You could tell he's into his music, you know, and he's into it. So I would say those are probably my top three. Also love Usher. I mean, it's just so many.
Yeah, I think Sade is a real special talent. I've seen her, I used to do concert promotion stuff. And I would go to her shows to learn a lot about the production quality that she put out there. It was just incredible.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I would get lost in the production quality, along with the sound and her beauty, suave movement on stage. It was just incredible.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. I had front row seats one point. I was mesmerized. When the show was over, I was still there looking at the stage like she was coming back.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't the only one.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yeah, Sade was special talent. Yeah.
Okay. Who's your favorite?
Well, I think Sade is from a female artist perspective. She's my favorite.
Oh, wow.
And then from a band perspective, there used to be a band called Incognito with Mesa. I like them a lot, but they're out of London, I think. They had a couple of albums out that were real special to me. Every time I hear it, I get nostalgic,
There you go. There you go. Same.
Yeah.
Same here.
So is there anything you want to impart to the audience that they may be able to benefit from around mindset, pivoting, real estate? Anything?
Honestly, I would just say, really just find some time to sit down, focus on the present of where you are today and where you see yourself in the next year. Like, even if it's not the next year, the next 6 months. Right. What can you do right now to make a pivot by the next 6 months? Because we're already at the end of this year. True. We can basically say it's 2026. So what are you going to do to be where you need to be by mid-2026? I mean, that's going to start right now. Whether you are looking to buy a house, I don't know where to start. First thing you should do right now is check your finances. Do you have any funds saved to prepare to buy a home? Down payment, closing costs. What does your credit look like? Check your FICO score. These are all places to actually start. And even if you're not looking to buy a house, what about just observe how you move daily? How are you moving daily? Are you working on organization? Just start with consistently making your bed every morning. Start by maybe reading 2 pages of a book every day and really just building out these increments to eventually get to where you want to be in the next 3 to 6 months.
All right, that's good advice. Yeah, I'm going to write that down myself.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'd like to challenge the audience. I think it might be a good exercise if you write down one thing that didn't work out and 3 ways it might have been preparing you for something greater in your life. And once you do that, send it over to us. We may even talk about you on the air.
There you go.
Look forward to it.
Me too.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Adios from
Bye.
The Pivot Show.
Bye.
See you next time.
See you soon.